Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. I ain't got time to be yelling again, dog. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. God dang it. Every single show. Every show.
Come on, wake up.
I'm sick of it. Good morning, y'all. It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Joined by Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC.
What up?
Today's episode, we got to talk about, can the Chicago Bears team still have success this season? Everybody's losing their minds. The sky is falling. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. Everything is happening. But can this Bears team still have success this season despite their struggling offensive line play? We also got to talk about why fans should not want this Chicago Bears team to have their coaches on the hot seat by the end of the season yet again. And we got to finish this thing out, man. What do we really need to see change heading into this week 4 matchup versus a Rams team that, dare I say, maybe that win was the best thing the Bears could have gotten out of it. Hey, it's 9/24, 2024. I'm a depressed Bears fan. Let's go. That's all I had. All I had. I'm sick of it. Sick of this shit, man. They're killing me. They're killing my mornings, meeting. They're killing my mornings, man.
Okay. It's getting better. It's going to get better. You hope.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We got who was first in here? Tony Tsunami said we need to get 100 in the chat when it starts. So that's the thing that we can hear live. We'll start sharing the show up, goddamn.
Come on.
I start the show with an over 100 in the chat. We ain't there yet though. It's Crimson in the building, man. Appreciate Crimson
As
pulling
always.
up. Jeremy JD Dorsey said, "Yeah, it's too early to be yelling." My bad. No, it's never too early to yell. We up in this mug, man. We up in this mug. Kid said it's too early to be depressed. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. When I say I'm depressed, I'm just upset. I'm not depressed. I'm too broke to be depressed.
Yeah.
I'm too broke to be depressed. I'm be honest with you, dog. I got stuff to get done, man. You can't sit there and be depressed when you're broke, dog.
Can't sit around. Yeah, let's get going.
You can be very, very sad, but you can't get to the point of depression. Y'all get some help out there, man. If you need it, get the help you need. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. I need y'all to go ahead and do me a favor right quick and
come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
You heard what Sue Young said. Push the goddamn button, man. Let's jump into the show, JC, because listen, we have all been as Bears fans as a whole just in disbelief that the Chicago Bears found a way to lose a game versus what we all know, and this is the worst part about it. We all know is a bad football team in the Indianapolis Colts. Now, listen, maybe by the end of the season, we will be proven wrong, and this team will come back, and they will cook, and they absolutely will, you go out there and dominate, and you go, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, maybe Anthony Richardson figured it out. Jonathan Taylor's a demon, all that stuff. But right now, this feels like one of the worst losses you're going to get this season. It feels like a bottom 5 loss right here.
So far, yeah. I'm with you.
And it feels even worse because yet again, versus one of the worst defensive lines in football, you could not protect your quarterback. Yet again, versus a defensive line that did not have some of its best players on it due to injury, you still could not protect your quarterback. Watching the All-22 is even worse as you sit there and go through it because you're just going, my God, dude, like, can anybody block? Do you have 5 dudes that realize that they're supposed to hit the dude standing in front of them? But can you still have success this season despite the Chicago Bears struggling O-line play?
Can you have it? Will it be successful? No. Let's just be honest. I mean, if that's the question that we're starting out with, we already know that we've seen over the past three games, even the one that we won, that O-line is the problem, and it will continue to be the problem. It's not something that we can just quick fix. It's not something we can put a Band-Aid on. We can mask. You've mentioned before, trying to play maybe 12 man, trying to put somebody back there that can block. I've seen even Mercedes Lewis miss blocking assignments when it was like a one-on-one. I believe the play where Latu actually
Mercedes
came
been
in.
bad this year.
Mercedes
Mercedes has
been
been
bad.
bad
Every
this
time he
year.
comes out, he gets either a penalty or he's missing an assignment. I was a little bit high on Mercedes, at least being a blocker, in his old age. But I don't know. Maybe old is just getting. Maybe Father Time is coming up on him. But I just think that in totality, the offensive line is something that's going to continue to struggle for the entire season. If I'm being completely honest, and that's not a good sign. You talking about maybe this is the worst loss of the season. We hope. We do still have Carolina coming up on the roster on the schedule. Uh, we have to find some kind of way to scheme for Caleb Williams to get a little bit more time in the pocket, a little bit more protection, a little bit more time to scan the field. He's doing a good job of getting that ball out quick. He's doing a better job of getting the ball to the playmakers. You mentioned Cole Kmet. DeAndre Swift is not being used the right way. We talked about personnel. We talked about Shane Waldron, shaky play calling. We talked about all of those things. But in all honesty, we can't have a successful season if, again, the protection doesn't hold up. And it's not been holding up because all 5 linemen have been literally sitting on their butts. We've seen it in all 22. They've sat down and said, "Hey, let's watch the game just like everybody else, at home on their couches."
Hey, let's see what's going on back there.
Hey, oh man, what we got? Those linemen want to come through. Okay, let's check it out for a minute. So
why does that guy keep laying on his back?
Yeah, how you doing? You want some popcorn? All right, I got you. I got it. So it's one of those things that I think that will just not. It won't get completely resolved, and I think Ryan Poles knows that. Whatever excuses he wants to make about the execution has to get better versus the talent. I think we all know and we see that the talent is not there. The skill is just not there. It's not a matter of execution. It's not even a matter of execution for some of the people that we always get on, like Coleman Shelton. You mentioned, man, he's just not big enough.
Yeah, he's just getting moved.
He's just not big enough. So all the excuses aside, no, I don't think that we'll have a successful season because the protection is not there.
I don't disagree with you that it's going to make it extremely difficult for Caleb Williams to be successful without the protection. But I don't know if I'm all the way to saying that the Bears can't have a successful season. I think offensively, it will not be the season that you expected to see. I think that offensively, it will not be the season that you would hope to see in his rookie year. I think that you will not see Caleb Williams develop as much in his rookie year as you would hope that he would. And I guess in some senses, right, that alone means this is not a successful season. But in the sense of wins and losses, I believe that you have a defense that will continue to give you opportunities to get the ball, that will continue to give you opportunities to go down the field and score, to put you in positions where things are simpler. And yes, the offensive line still plays a part when you get back on offense. But I think here's the thing. It comes down to something that I saw in this game, and there still needs to be improvement from this person. There has to be a ton, especially on short yardage situations. But we actually saw Shane Waldren call the game how it had to be called. We don't like it. I don't like 52 dropbacks from a rookie quarterback. I just don't. There's nothing about that makes me feel good.
No.
But
very imbalanced.
When you continue to watch the tape, more times than not, they have 8 men in the box. When you have 8 men in the box, you throw over those men. Now, again, there has to be improvement. In having those 8 men in the box, you don't have to run routes that are 15 yards down the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is the give and take in all of this, where you kind of have to figure out, okay, what can your team actually do? What is your team's talent level right now? And you have to adjust your game plan to it. Now, the question is, will Shane Waldren adjust his game plan to it? We've seen adjustment through 3 weeks. It's just slow adjustment, and we don't like it, which is how most adjustment goes. It goes after the game. Usually don't make major adjustments during the game. You make small tweaks and different things like that, but you're not going to make a major adjustment on the offensive line during the game unless somebody's just god awful like Nate Davis was in week 1. I think that there can still be success this season. I think that it is going to be a difficult success. It is going to be on the back of that defense, and we're so used to having it be defense and running game, defense and running game, defense and running game. This year, Caleb may get the most usage we see him get for a while, because it's going to be a lot of defense and passing game, because they're going to stack the box and say, we know you can't run the football. We know you can't move us off our spot. Go ahead and throw the football over us, which is going to bring more opportunities for interceptions, which is going to bring more opportunities for tip passes, and the ball goes up in the air. More opportunities for Caleb to get hit in that pocket. Like, those are the things that suck. And I think, again, it doesn't remove the fault. It doesn't remove the problems that, to me, Ryan Poles created here by not going out and getting offensive line. But I don't know if it absolutely means that the season is over just because you can't protect the quarterback perfectly, or in this sense at all.
Well, I'll put it like this. If we can't protect them, here's another reason why I think it won't be as successful as we think, because we've seen the natural progression of Caleb over the last 3 games. We talked about it on last night's live. You know, we looked at the bar, you know, 91 to what was it, 170, 100, over 100 yards passing. And then he got to 363. So we joked about, well, hey, he's on the trajectory of getting 700 the next week.
Yeah.
The whole point of getting protection also is so you don't get hurt. Caleb Williams has been sacked 13 times, I believe, for the over the first 3 games.
Yeah.
So on average, he's getting ready to get sacked a whole lot more. And like you mentioned, it's not just the sacks, it's the pressures.
Yeah.
All of that goes into, you know, whether or not Caleb is going to continue to progress and also stay healthy enough to be on the field. That's what I'm also worried about. Is there going to be a certain point where it's going to be agent Bajan season, and now we got to figure out, okay, when will Caleb return from injury? That's the point that I'm worried about.
No matter what, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I think that's just, it depends on what it is, but I think that's just the nature of the NFL now.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a 6-7 game stint, that's a problem, right? Like, if you have something that he has to go to IR for, that's a problem. And he's getting hit entirely too much. You're 100% right on that. But I'll ask you this. Did the offensive line play improve in the second half last week?
No.
It was still terrible. In the second half of the game last week, where the Colts are up, they're literally just sending pressures at Caleb Williams. You saw an adjustment on his part. You saw an adjustment on the team's part in Shane Waldron's game. A small adjustment, but it was to go to a guy like Roschon Johnson in the running game to kind of create some different things there. 17 for 25, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception with a 93.8 quarterback rating. In the fourth quarter alone, he was 14 for 18 for 122 yards with a 131 quarterback rating and 2 touchdowns. The protection didn't improve. The protection didn't get better, but Caleb Williams was able to adjust to what he was seeing on the field. And I think that there is something to that. And I agree with you. It's going to cause development issues. It's going to cause bad habits. It's going to cause him to play Superman ball. Right? That will lead to a Caleb Williams we did not expect to see. Dare I say that probably leads to a Caleb Williams who maybe ends up, maybe you get to 25 touchdowns, but don't be surprised if you see 18 interceptions.
Right. Yeah.
And I think what irritates me about that is you can't get a fair evaluation of this kid. You can't get a fair evaluation of, okay, where is he talent-wise? Is he making too many mistakes? Or are the mistakes coming because he's being asked to throw the football so much and because you can't protect this kid, so he's under pressure throwing the football? That's the part that's irritating about all this. But at the end of the day, I saw a Caleb Williams that can be successful under duress. Now, again, This is under duress on a defense that's not very good, but still under duress nonetheless.
Now, see, this is where I have an issue because I know we talked about this before, and you've even had an issue. We talked about who is it
I
to
got a lot
blame
of
yesterday.
issues.
We played the blame game. Yeah, a lot of issues on this team. Obviously, we
You
played the
goddamn
blame
right.
game last night, and you clearly made it very apparent that none of those guys on the list that we mentioned, the offensive line, the coach, the offensive line, OC, or Caleb Williams, are to blame. Really, this is on Ryan Poles. But
Ryan Poles.
here's my thing. If all Caleb can do is start just chucking the ball 40 to 50 times, because we clearly have a deficiency at the run game, and it's going to be one-dimensional throughout the season for the most part, right? Because of the line protection. Well, then is this what Ryan Poles was literally saying he needs Caleb to do in at least season 1 just to be successful? Because we've seen Caleb, like you said, without the help, get better each and every week. We've seen him get better. We've seen him take the short yardage plays. We've seen him dump off to the running back. He
Yeah.
doesn't always have to look downfield. So are we going to have adjust the game plan to him taking a whole bunch of throws? And now Ryan Poles is actually right in saying, hey, this is what I saw at USC. He had no help. He had no offensive line until maybe year 2, when I can clearly bring in better talent, better drafts on the offensive line. This is what we have to deal with.
He's not right, because this is not the environment that you want to develop a quarterback in. He's not right because I don't have an expectation that, I mean, as you go through this, that J.C. Latham, that Olu Fashanu, who ends up going 11 to the Jets, that Talise Fuega, that Amarius Mims, that Troy Fontenot, that Jordan Morgan, that Tyler Guyton, who else we got on this?
Tyler Guyton.
That Jackson Powers Johnson, that Patrick Paul. I had to see what Patrick Paul is on. He went early. He went way earlier than I thought he was going to go. That Blake Fisher, that Kingsley Sumwatu. I don't know how to say his last name. I tried it. That Brendan Coleman. Right? I don't have a belief, and I'm just going through the list of tackles and guards here, that all of them are going to suck.
Yeah.
And if you believe, because here's my thing, right? When Ryan Poles didn't attack offensive line last year in the free agency, he attacked it in the draft, but in free agency, I had a problem with it. But every one of the mugs he could have went and got sucked.
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me that, and that's just, I'm not even through the second round on the names I was listing there. If you're telling me that every one of those guys, until you get to Karan Amagaji, I got to flip my brain on that, is going to suck, then yeah, Ryan Poles will be proven right. Yeah, you made the right call. You drafted the right guy. Oh, by the way, and Karan Amagaji hits. Yeah, you made the right call. But I don't believe that that's going to happen. And again, my problem with Ryan Poles is you didn't even make an attempt to fix this with something that is a real fix. You said we're going to bring in Ryan Bates, who's a backup right guard. You said we're going to bring in Coleman Shelton, who the Rams basically packed his bags for him and had him ready for him as he was heading out the door. You said, yeah, I mean, like, those aren't fixes. And so you're not proven right because you put your quarterback in a bad position. Now, like I said, if every one of them sucks, okay, heck of a this dude's omniscient.
Yeah.
If you telling me of the 12 names I named there, every single one of them sucks, you'll never hear me complain about Ryan Poles again. Because it's like, all right, this dude's omniscient. Like, what a horrible year for tackles and guards, even though we've heard that this is the best year for tackles and guards.
I love the analogy that you brought up the other day about Ryan Poles needing to swing versus just letting a strike go by, because they're two different things. You know, if you actually go out, let's just say, we went through the draft a little differently. Obviously, we knew we were going to still pick the quarterback at number 1, but we went a different route with that number 9 pick. If we stayed there and got a lineman, or if we traded back and got more capital and got addressed the line a little bit more with maybe a late first rounder or a second rounder with center, with left tackle, whatever the case may be, would that have looked better right now with the rookie center and a rookie quarterback versus him taking a chance and essentially striking out with the likes of a Nate Davis and Matt Pryor, Coleman Shelton. Because we praised the depth on this offseason. We praised that he went and got a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
But clearly those bodies have nothing to do with blocking right now.
I
That
think
doesn't matter.
those bodies are depth.
Yeah.
But you didn't get the guy that is supposed to be at the head of depth. You know what I mean? Would you be in a better situation with a rookie center right now? Coleman Shelton looks like a rookie center right now that was taken in the fourth round.
Yeah, college. Yeah, he definitely looks like he's college material.
Coleman Shelton looks like a fourth-round rookie center that you're like, he's got some struggles, but he engages well, and when he gets some meat on him, he'll be all right. Like that. Like he's been in the league for 10 years. He's here. This is who he is. He's not getting bigger. It's one of those things to me where, listen, when we talk about success, there are two camps of success. For me, at this point, if you're not winning 10 games this year, and we'll talk about this coming into the next segment, you may be resetting your coaching staff. That's not success. If you're not competing this year, you may be resetting everything. That's not a successful situation. So for me, wins are important this year. I know, kids in the chat, shout out kid in the chat. I know he talks about, it's all about the development of Caleb, but the development of Caleb changes drastically with an entirely new coaching staff in this building. And so I'm so ready to get off of that carousel. And like I said, we'll talk about that coming up, but there's just, you have to be successful as far as winning football games this season. And you're off to a very, very similar start. And I'm going to be honest with you, like watching that Rams game, you could be off to the exact same start here. I guess you got to win week 1, which would be different, but a 1-3 start feels familiar. And here's my problem again. And this part that's tough. And by the way, hit that like button if you're in here, subscribe to the page. We got 119 in the building on the YouTube side, 34 likes. Let's get that over 100 likes, man. Let's get this mug cracking.
Come on now.
Here's my problem with how every season has started. I want to sit here and blame Flus for how every single season has started. I want to blame him for not having his team ready. I want to blame him for not being prepared to start the season. But then you see 5 dudes fall over on the offensive line. And I'm like, how can I blame the coach? The coach is not bringing in the talent. The coach has to perform with the talent. Yeah, you got to coach up the talent. Maybe we can blame Chris Morgan.
Oh, we definitely can.
But once again, Chris Morgan being here is whose decision?
That's on polls.
Chris Morgan is a holdover. And let's not pretend like we've seen this massive amount of coaching decision or coaching hires that were made this offseason that feel like Matt Eberflus hires. None of these guys are Matt Eberflus hires.
Not his guys. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Eric Washington. Maybe he had some input on Eric Washington. But I don't know, man. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, man. Let us know in the comments below. Do you feel like the Chicago Bears can still have a successful season? JC says no. I think that they can, but it's going to be an ugly one.
I want to be wrong. Prove me wrong.
Listen, I think you can have still, and I know this is going to sound crazy, I still think you can have a 10-win season. But I think Caleb Williams is going to look very differently. And there are going to be people on the other side that are sitting there going, well, if you take the haul, you do. And we're going to have that whole conversation again. Yeah, I'm excited with what we have with Caleb Williams. I do think that he goes through his quarterback progressions better. I think he processes better. I think he understands what he's seeing on the defense. But I do think that he's going to be under duress his entire season, and he's going to be running for his life. And I will say this for all the people who, first off, for all the people who are saying keep Justin, y'all know Justin still looks like this behind this O-line, right? That's a whole different situation, though. But also, and remember, I was a Justin guy, but it still looks like this. And I can't guarantee that he was going to pick the right O-lineman because we ain't seen that either. But the other thing for me is when you watch Caleb, dog, there's some plays. There's one play. Watching the All-22 yesterday, Braxton Jones is just getting absolutely eviscerated.
We already know.
On the left side. I mean, listen, He might as well have been in Michael Jackson Moonwalker. Y'all remember
Disney
that?
on Ice, baby.
Y'all remember that movie? Oh my
yeah.
God, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So he's getting absolutely destroyed. Basically just uppercut it. You know what I mean? The whole way into Caleb's lap.
Oh, you get
Caleb drops back, pressure's coming up the middle. He rolls out, almost runs into the sack because Braxton's just being like destroyed on the outside. I mean, listen, he was moving like it was baby all under his feet. I thought he was at Diddy's.
Oh, little Diddy party. Okay.
And Caleb like jumps back, jukes out of that, gets back outside.
Yep.
And like off leg or going left, throwing right, leg in the air, delivers an absolute dart. There's a lot of plays that should be sacks that he just turns not into them. Yeah. Very much like how Justin Fields did. And it's impressive to watch. Like it was
an amazing play.
Bro, like I'm just sitting there going, oh my goodness. Like
the Cole Kmet. Yeah, it was an amazing play. That dart to Cole, that was nice.
Nuts.
That was nice.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We appreciate y'all tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the other side to continue to break this thing down. By the way, JC, I don't know if you noticed before we go, but not only over 100 in the chat, but also over 200 in the chat. Hey, man, we'll be right back right after this. Yo, what's happening, Bears Nation? It's your boy Pat, the designer from the Windy City Breeze, where we keep it 100 about everything Chicago Bears. Now, if you're like me, you don't just watch the game, you live it, and that's why you need to check out BetDSI. BetDSI is where it's at if you want to put your money where your mouth is. They've been doing it for over 20 years, giving you the best odds, lightning fast payouts, and a platform that's as solid as the best O-line. Whether you're betting on the Bears to take it all the way or making clutch live bets during the game, BetDSI has you covered. And here is the kicker. Just because you're rolling with the Windy City Breeze, BetDSI is hooking you up. Sign up today with the promo code WCB, and they'll give you 120% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's free money, folks, to make sure that you're winning as you back our boys in the blue and orange. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Head over to betdsi.eu, use the code WCB, and start turning your Bears passion into serious cash. BetDSI, where real Bears fans get it done. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https://aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat, the designer, back at it again, joined by Jordan JC in the building. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Set a great conversation on, can this Bears team be successful with this struggling offensive line? Now we're going to keep this thing moving along because, listen, I keep seeing a lot of all yesterday on YouTube was, is Matt Eberflus on the hot seat? Should Shane Waldren be on the hot seat? Is it time to get these guys out of here 3 weeks into the season? And I can't come in here and have hot seat conversation because of how volatile the NFL is, right? Like, listen, we watched the week 3 of games that I guarantee you nobody had on the docket as wins and or losses. I mean,
yeah, you ain't lying.
Dog, week 3 was nuts, dog. This is week 3, right? The Giants beat the Browns.
Wow.
Starting, right? The Giants
Rigo, happy day, Rigo.
Sam Darnold thrashes the Texans.
Yeah, what is that?
The Broncos and Bo Nix absolutely destroy the Buccaneers. What else we got on here? Seahawks and Dolphins. I kind of saw that one. Oh, Panthers just throttling the Raiders with Andy Dalton out there.
Was that a Bryce Young issue?
Was that a Bryce Young issue? No, I think that's just like with the Bears. When you put that backup quarterback in there for that 1 week, it's like, oh, we got a little excitement out here. Hold on, we're ready to go, and everybody's gonna figure it out. Yep. And what else we got on here? Ravens beating the Cowboys. I had coming. Last night, Commanders and Bills. Hey, that boy Jaden looked nice. Jaden looked nice. By the way,
PK said he is him. He definitely is him.
No, by the way, Bears fans, breathe. Like, breathe, guys. I'm not sitting here with buyer's remorse for Jaden Daniels. Absolutely I've got buyer's remorse for the guy standing in front of Jaden Daniels, who did a solid job last night. I don't know if that was the Washington's offensive line being good or the Bengals only having Trey Hendrickson.
I mean, only having one impact guy is not enough. Yeah. No, Jaden looked nice. Jaden was nice, but Jaden
was balling. You know what's interesting about Jaden? Like, everybody was like, he's Justin Fields 2.0. He's going to be another Lamar Jackson after last night, stuff like that. Jaden don't move like that to me.
No.
Jaden don't got them kind of wheels to me. At least in maybe it's just me, but when I see Jaden, I'm like, he can run. But they were like, he's doing what he does best. And he got like 5 yards and they caught him instantly. And I was like, he should learn how to throw.
Yeah.
He should definitely learn how to
see that. Yeah.
But hey man, let's keep this thing moving along. Let's jump into this conversation about Flus and why I don't think that Matt Eberflus should be on the hot seat right now, 3 weeks into the season. Why I don't want to see Matt Eberflus gone from this situation, because I think that you have put yourself in a position where if you're going to finally develop this kid, let this kid develop with the same staff. The one thing that we can say about Caleb Williams, and we talked about it last night, is we have seen development out of him. I just gave you the numbers for what he was able to do in the second half of that last game. I mean, his completion percentage absolutely through the roof. I mean, he had so many opportunities to throw it. And here's the thing. I think people forget, right? Like, there's been quarterbacks, right? I remember Gardner Minshew having a game like this where he had to throw it 50 times. I remember Ryan Fitzpatrick having games like this where he had to throw it 50 plus times. There have been games like this where quarterbacks have to throw it that much and they're not accurate.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter of this game, Caleb Williams threw the football 18 times. He was 14 for 18 for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the game wasn't so far out of reach that they were just playing back and letting the Bears get what they wanted.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw a lot of people saying, well, that's because they went to a vanilla defense. No.
They weren't playing vanilla.
Come on now.
and even so, 33 for 52 is not bad.
No. That's what
you know
want.
What I mean? So it's I'm not. I want to continue to see Caleb Williams grow. I'd like to see the run game get involved and not have to have him throw 50 plus times. But we have seen Caleb Williams develop through 3 games. I saw a stat yesterday. Somebody was like, it took Justin Fields 29 games to get over 300 yards. Caleb did it in week 3. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, then again, I've never seen Justin throw 52 times, though.
I've never seen Justin throw 52 times.
Being honest.
This is fact. This is fact.
There's that.
But no, I just think that if we're talking about, you know, the growth of this kid through 3 games, I do think that we can see it. I think we can see the development of him. I think the game is It's slowly starting to slow down for him. I understand the interceptions are there. But I'm gonna give him grace just like I gave Justin Fields grace through his time here. You know that there's some interceptions where, I mean, listen, we may not like the risk of throwing it to Rome, but it only hit him in the hands and the face.
It only got it to where it was supposed to go, right? Elite quarterbacks actually throw tight window throws. They're able to make those. If Rome is catching that, we're not complaining.
Yeah, and so that's my thing. Like I'm not mad at him making that throw. Rome got to catch that ball.
Yeah,
ball pops up, is in his hands. The fumble. I mean, and again, Muzzer gonna say you're making excuses. No, I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
The fumble on this kid is a strip sack that comes from the blind side, in which Cole Kmet is one-on-one with Laiatu Letu.
And Mercedes Lewis is in no man's land. He was supposed to be helping him.
Well, I guess so because I had to ask somebody. I guess what's supposed to happen on that play is Cole Kmet is basically supposed to use Mercedes Lewis as help if he's needed, which he was needed. But it's supposed to be a double team, and basically they're supposed to kind of pin him in,
engage.
So Leatu can't go anywhere. Cole immediately lets him get outside.
Yeah.
And so in that situation, now it's Cole Kmet one-on-one. Mercedes Lewis can't get back into play. So it's once again, Cole Kmet being one-on-one with one of the best pass blockers in the game. Should the Bears win that matchup? Yeah, you got a double team, but in theory, it immediately turned into a one-on-one with Laiatu Letu, and we see how that ends. And again, it's the, these are excuses. He's got to be better. Caleb's got to do it. It's an 11-man game. It's a team game.
Yeah.
And in that, I'm seeing in all these turmoils and in interesting, play calls by Shane Waldren, in horrible offensive line play through 3 weeks. If you tell me this kid hasn't improved, I'm just gonna say you're just lying to yourself. You just want to be upset that Caleb Williams is here at that point.
Yeah.
And so, like, to me, I'm not upset with what we've seen through 3 weeks, and I don't want that to change. I want that growth to keep happening. I want that growth to keep growing. Now, if it comes out right, if Caleb sits down with Ryan Poles at the end of the year, he was like, a lot of that was just me being me. And maybe it's different, but I'm tired of being on the carousel. Ryan Pace drafts Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky has John Fox. John Fox didn't want Mitch Trubisky. They get rid of John Fox. Matt Nagy comes in. Matt Nagy has Mitch for 2 years. They have some success, then it all falls off. They get rid of Mitch. They bring in Justin Fields. Matt Nagy has Justin. He's got the red rifle. Was it Red Rifle or Nick Foles? I think it was the red rifle.
It was Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. Yeah.
That red rifle comes in, right? Red Rifle starts the season. He plays 4 games. Everybody's losing their mind. And I was like, get Justin in there. Throw the kid out there. They throw him in behind J.C. Peters versus Myles Garrett. He gets absolutely destroyed. Matt Nagy at the end of the season's out. In comes Matt Eberflus. Mm-hmm. Matt Eberflus has Justin for 2 seasons. They literally just try to blow this thing up. We got a whole new GM. He don't give a rat's about what Justin Fields has been through. He's got his quarterback coming in. Justin Fields gets up out of there. You bring in Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has 1 year of this. We're ready to get rid of Matt Eberflus.
Sounds like the same old tape. Sounds like the same old tape.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, at a certain point, you have to bring a stop to it. You have to bring some consistency around this kid. And I think that through 3 games, the fact that we've seen development out of him is impressive. You need to get better talent in front of him as far as offensive line play. But even with some of the play calls that Shane Waldren has run, even with some of the things that Shane Waldren has set up, I don't think that every play call has been the worst play call of all time, because I see guys open. I also see Caleb Williams trying to fighting for his life just to be in the pocket.
Yeah.
And in the pocket, literally every time he's in the pocket, I think in the pocket in this game, he was 16 for 18 for 171 yards or something like that. Like,
yeah,
you can see the good things that happen when he's protected. You can see the developments that are happening when he's able to sit there and not be under duress. And so for me, when we're talking about hot seat, when we're talking about firing guys, I just don't think that's the situation here. And I know people are like, well, Matt Eberflus is a better DC than he is a head coach. Listen. The timeout situations are the devil. I don't know what happened in that game. They're all bad. But there is nobody in that locker room that would tell you that Matt Eberflus is not a good leader of men.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's nobody in that locker room that would tell you, and that is important.
Yeah,
That's the biggest part of being a head coach, being able to lead your team, being able to rally them together and get them all together. There's nobody in there that would tell you that Matt Eberflus is not a good leader of men. There are some probably in there that would tell you he's not a good leader of timeouts.
Yeah, we got to get better with those. We got to get better. No, one, we're going for 1, 2, 2. Come on, man.
Even that, right? And man, I don't know if you heard the press conference yesterday. I really think he didn't call it. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I really think he did not tell them that we were going for 2 because he just assumed that everybody knew it was a go for 2 situation. I really wonder because I think it was Adam Hogue asked him. He said, do you feel like, or did you have that call in already, or did you have that or was that made after the fact and that's why you had to call the timeout? And he was like, yeah, that's a coaching issue. We got that worked out. We got that figured out. And so we're going to be all right. And we're working through all of that. And I was like, he's dodging the question. If he had that called in beforehand, he probably says he had that called in beforehand.
He would have put it directly on himself. Yeah, maybe there was somebody under him that messed up. Yeah.
That would have been tough. And maybe, listen, maybe Flus is that guy. He's going to take the blame. He's going to say that's on me. But I would have thought he'd have been like, yeah, we had that call in.
Yeah. Would have been a direct quote. Yeah. No, I'm with you on not putting Eberflus in the hot seat. And for the longest, I haven't even looked Eberflus's way. I mean, the only time that we were talking about Eberflus being on the hot seat was the previous season. At the end of the season, we talked about, okay, Getsy's clearly out of here, but is Eberflus going to be walking right behind him? And because we kept him, I think that he's done an adequate job. And the reason why I say that is, and I'm going to ask you like this, Pat, if you want to work on your shooting ability, your 3-point shooting, what player would you go to ask for shooting assistance? What's the first name you think of?
Give me Ray Allen.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take that. I thought you were going to say Steph. I'll take Ray Allen. Shooting.
I get. Well,
no.
I wouldn't ask Steph because I feel like Steph's shot is so specific to Steph.
That's true. I like that. That's so Ray, perfect. One of the greatest shooters in the game still. If you're going to work on your defense and rebounding, who is one of the people that who's a player that you're going to emulate? And I know you like this guy because he's your favorite player.
Give me a little Rodman action. Give me a little
let's
Rodman
go with
action.
Dennis. Let's go with Dennis Menace, the worm.
I'm a big worm guy.
You're not going to ask. Whoa, you're a big what?
Big worm guy.
Okay, all right. I don't have any flags around, so
kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy, but so so let's just say, let's flip that. Are you going to go to Dennis for shooting?
No.
Are you going to go to Ray Allen for defense? Even though he was decent on defense.
I was going to say, I go to Ray for defense. It depends on what position I'm playing.
He's not high on the list, though, right?
Ray, he wouldn't be my first go-to, but Jesus had some nice defense back in the day. You know what I mean?
Okay, so here's my whole point going back to football and Eberflus and the coaching staff, right? Stay in your lane. Do what you're good at. That's why I appreciate Eberflus still being here. Eberflus doesn't, go into somebody else's lane and say, hey, let me take over. He knows he relies on Shane Waldren and the offensive staff to do what they got to do to scheme up and do the play calling, get the game part, get that part ready for each game. Eberflus is a defensive-minded head coach. That's where he's come from. The team we just played, he was a DC for that team for the longest time. He did an excellent job. I think he's brought in a great coaching staff on the defensive side, like you mentioned, Eric Washington. I think that pairing is very, very good. We have the defense humming. We have mind you, Super Bowl level defense in all of our minds and all of our opinions. And so I'm not putting Eberflus on the hot seat because he's doing exactly what we thought he would do. And that's why I'm saying, okay, you don't just throw blame all over the place just because we're starting out 1-2. This could get better. But again, I'm not looking at the head coach as the guy, the scapegoat for this. I'm looking at, I mentioned before, Chris Morgan. I'm looking at Shane Waldron. I want to see continued improvement. Are you going to continue to use Roshan coming up in these next few games?
Yeah.
Or are you going to go back to the politics of the game and say, okay, well, Khalil Herbert got paid $8 million. We're going to continue to try and force 14 carries for 16
DeAndre
yards
Swift.
every game.
DeAndre Swift got paid $8 million.
I'm sorry, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah. And I will say this: that is where I wonder where the head coach line is for Flus. That is the one thing that I do want to see. Right? Are you going to go out there and you're going to be the guy that says, "Hey, listen, we almost want him to have that Denzel Washington remember the Titans moment, right? Where you don't want him to, but you just want him to have the conversation like that, right? Like, hey, your defense getting killed out there. You just worry about your offense. We keep getting killed. I'm taking over. Yeah, I mean, you want him to have that fire, that vitriol a little bit of like, hey man, like you're getting my quarterback killed. What the heck are you doing out there? We got to make some adjustments here. We got to figure some things out. But I do agree with you. He stays in his lane, which is a good thing, because you brought these guys in here to do their job. And again, going back and looking at the game, Shane Waldren is not calling plays to get Caleb. Well, I shouldn't say that. Shane Waldren calling some plays to get Caleb Williams killed. Them 15-yard passes got to stop. You ain't got time for that.
Stop doing that.
They got to stop.
You got to stop doing
that. I do think that Shane Waldron has called a game that we didn't see Luke Getsy call.
That's true.
Never did you hear me come in here after a game where the Bears lost and go, nah, he called that game right. Nah, he called that perfect. That's exactly the kind of calls you need to make versus that game, versus what the defense was giving you. Never. Luke Getsy just wasn't creative enough. Now, I think Shane Waldron isn't creative at all. I think he's very simple with a lot of the stuff he's scheming up. And I also think that he is ridiculously bad when he tries to get creative.
Yeah.
Because it's like the speed option on the goal line. It's not even a college play, dog. Like, where'd you come up with that?
I didn't even like the Wildcat.
Before,
if I'm being honest, I didn't like the Wildcat. I know you said that you didn't have a problem with it. I didn't like the Wildcat option. I didn't like any of those plays at the goal line. You just saw him throw the ball to Cole Kmet wide open. Why did you scheme for your tight ends to get in there?
Why do you take the ball out of? That's what Shay Norling on Chicago Bears podcast yesterday said too. He's like, why take the ball out of Caleb's hand? You drafted him first overall.
4 straight times? Nah.
Yeah.
No. But
I don't know. It was not, and you know what irritates me about that is, to me, that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of giving up. You were too scared on the 1 yard line to run power.
Yeah.
And those are things that I think he does need to adjust with. Those are things that, to me, I think that Shane Waldron has to improve upon in his time here. But I don't think that means that we should be looking to get everybody out of here at the end of the season. Now, if it goes horribly wrong and everything's blown up, all right, maybe we have to have the conversation. Maybe it's if we're sitting at 5 wins at the end of this season again, you have to have the conversation then. But it's not a conversation that I'm ready to have now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of season left. We're 3 weeks in. There's a lot of teams that are sky is falling. I mean, listen, the Ravens are what are Ravens, 1-2, or are they 2-1?
Yeah.
Ravens are 1-2.
Cowboys are 1-2.
Well, I mean, I don't think the Cowboys made the playoffs this year. I said that before the season. I was like, I don't think the Cowboys made the playoffs this year at all.
Yeah.
The Vikings are 3-0. Does that sustain? You know what I mean? Man. Like the who else? The Bengals are 0-3. Although I'm not gonna lie to you, the Bengals, like, Joe Burrow has not been good like his last 10 games.
Yeah,
he was solid last night. He was actually really good last night. But like his last 10 games before that have been kind of a struggle. But hey, it is what it is. Let's finish out the show on this, JC. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Make sure that y'all are hitting that like button, man, so that YouTube can keep the content pushing. What is your biggest concern heading into this week 4 matchup versus a Rams team that we thought was dead? And then they said, hold on now, we got a little something for you for the 49 versus the 49ers.
Well, here's my biggest issue: the quarterback. We faced 2 quarterbacks in this early season that we thought were they're not as competent as we thought. Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, we know those are kind of the lower tier quarterbacks. And Anthony Richardson looks like he has the talent to be special in the league, but he hasn't put it all together. The accuracy's not there. The deep ball is not there yet. The mind for the game, the IQ for the game is not there. Will Levis, I feel like he has a certain ceiling, and he's clearly always trying to turn the ball over in some form or fashion. We played C.J. Stroud, who is one of the better quarterbacks, who had one of the best rookie seasons. And so what I'm saying is we're facing Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is, even when he was in this division, a very good quarterback and knows how to manage the game very well. And at times can lead a team to win on his own. And so that's where I'm concerned. Even though you don't have Puka Nacua, and I believe Cooper Kupp is still hurt,
Cooper Kupp is still out.
you still have a team that is still decent enough to get the job done. And that's where I feel concerned for, because I don't feel like the quarterback is going to give the game away. You had two interceptions given to you by Anthony Richardson and still lost. I don't think you're going to get that out of Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is someone who's going to make sure that if they got to win 10-7, they're going to win 10-7. He's not going to make any mistakes. So even though we have a really, really good defense, and yes, I think we have a Super Bowl level defense, Matt Stafford has played this game long enough to know how to get the job done. And so that's where I see the concern.
Yeah, I think for me, my biggest concern is the same as this week 3 matchup. Can you establish the run? It's going to be a lot harder to establish it versus a team that's a little bit better at run defense than than the
worst.
Colts. You couldn't establish it
Yeah.
versus them. But
Yeah.
you did see something that kind of worked, and you mentioned it earlier. Are the Bears going to play the politics of this game, or are you going to go out there and try and get wins? Because there's one guy out there who, when he was on the field, when he was running the football, all of a sudden the offense started to work better. And again, that is against a subpar run defense, but I think you kind of have to ride with that. You saw Roshan Johnson go out there for $900,000 and be able to not only be impactful as far as a runner on the field, not only be able to get almost 4 yards per carry behind this offensive line that's basically letting you get hit 6 yards behind the line, not only be impactful in a run game that for some reason always starts in shotgun, which pisses me off to no end, or the pistol.
I can't stand that.
But you saw it be impactful in a passing game on that last drive where he's got to get out quick, he's got to make a block, get his head around, receive the ball, and then be able to make a play upfield. I think that, to me, establishing a consistent run game, I asked Lance Briggs this. I said, what does committing to the run look like to you? How many runs in this day and age is committing to the run? And he said about 15 rushes is committing to the run, which DeAndre Swift got right around there. So he kind of commit.
Sure.
I can't say the Bears didn't commit to the run. Dropping back 52 times is crazy. But even I said that directly. I was like 25 runs in total, not including the quarterback. That's not a bad day running the football, but you want to see something finally get established. In 4 weeks into the season, it has to be the time to do that, or you're going to be in for a very, very long season of a lot of mistakes from a rookie quarterback. I mean, listen, when you give him 50 opportunities to make them, he's going to make some.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, not what I want to see. You want to minimize the mistakes. You want to make things easier. The other concern for me is on Shane Waldren, because I feel like I've kind of, oddly enough, protected him from most of Bears Nation out here. But your fourth down and third and short plays have to be simple. I'm sorry.
Yeah, stop getting cute. Please stop getting cute.
Have to be simple. The end arounds, the freaking speed option, none of that can be a part of the game plan. And those are the moments where I need to see Matt Eberflus step up. Those are the moments where, not to say you stifle the creativity, because they're okay, but you have to say, you know what? Going back to like a basketball example, I remember when in OKC, when I think it was Scott Brooks, he said, no more alley-oops. He's like, we struggling to make the regular buckets. We definitely not going to be doing the flashy stuff. No more alley-oops because they were trying to throw lobs and they was missing the lobs. They couldn't get them down. It was like, let's get the regular stuff.
That.
Let's make the bucket.
Yeah.
Once we get consistent with making the bucket, then throw that mug up.
Let's get 2 points. Yeah.
After that, all of a sudden they start winning games. They start making the buckets. They start. It takes off. Oh, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, everybody's great. Kumbaya, they lose. Yeah, I mean, but like they got the simple stuff right first. The layup, the dunk, before they start just lobbing alley-oops up. So, like, to me, you can't come into this week 4 and be sitting there speed option, end around, doing freaking flea flickers. Like we didn't see that, but I just feel like he's got that
Wildcat. Yeah.
Wildcat. Yeah, I mean, like, here's my thing. Wildcat to Roshan Johnson. Give me that.
I'll take it. On the goal line.
On the goal line. Wildcat to Roshan Johnson. Give me that. Like I'm not out on Wildcat. I think Wildcat does work. No one's ever fooled by it though.
Right. He's clearly right there. The running back's not a quarterback.
The only time you're ever fooled by Wildcat is like when the running back is good enough to throw a pass.
Oh, we don't have sweetness back there.
Didn't Tariq Cohen? Didn't Tariq Cohen throw a touchdown in?
Tariq Cohen threw a touchdown to Anthony Miller. I remember
Anthony Miller.
That won the game. Or didn't win the game, that tied the game. They didn't win, but I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, that was hilarious because he had to like jump to do it because he couldn't see over the line. He was,
I remember that. Yeah.
Shout out to him, man, getting that bag before he got the injury.
God, where's Anthony Miller? I think I've seen him on a YouTube video. Okay, anyway. Jesus.
Anthony Miller's at a Walmart greeting people right now. But no, man, I'm just excited or not excited. I'm concerned that, you know, you're trying to get too cute too early. Figure the easy stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get cute. Because guess what? When I'm so worried about you just running the football down my throat and hitting me in the teeth, then all of a sudden I'm preparing for that. And then you play action, turn around, little bloop. Yeah. We saw Jaden Daniels do it last night. Why? Because they were clearly content giving Brian Robinson the ball.
Yep. And it worked.
And then all of a sudden it's a play action, roll out left hip, boop, wide open, tight end. He's right there.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid. And I'm not calling Shane Waldron stupid. It's the KISS principle. Like it's
simple. Yeah, exactly.
It works more times than not, especially in this game.
Yeah.
Especially in this game. We keep getting these dudes that's like, hey, I understand I could just run this for a yard. But what if we flip it back to the quarterback? He punts it to the running back 10 yards behind the line. The running back runs up, behind the back passes it like Magic Johnson to the receiver, and then DJ Moore runs it for 20 yards to get that 1 yard. Like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Forward. And I don't know if you got enough push to do a QB sneak, so I ain't even going to offer that, but
I'll be honest with you. I think that is the name of the game. And going back to the first topic, would that actually contribute to a successful season? That might be the reason why maybe they'll have a successful season. I saw a kid in here say, maybe 9 to 10 win game season. Maybe that's where we might still be able to get to if we do keep it simple. Because if any of those plays at the goal line worked and we kept it simple, we did a I formation or just ran it up the gut with Roshan a number of times. If you're going to take the ball out of Caleb's hands, go straight up. Don't go diagonal. Don't do this side to side stuff.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. And we might even be talking about a W. We might be 2-1 at this point. And so that's where I think just a few little things have to get worked out. If we clearly can't, address the O-line, but we can address the small things in the play calling, the details in the play calling that could contribute to a win or a loss.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I do want to hold on. Somebody said something about Lucas Patrick. I got to bring this out too because I keep seeing this.
Oh, did he?
Let's not forget Lucas Patrick's balling out on the Saints now too. You can't make this ish up. Team is cursed, guys. It was a game. He had a day. He had a day.
He had a day.
These are his 3 games. Week 1, He had an offensive rating over on PFF of 61.6, a 57.6 pass run block, a 74.9 pass block. Week 2, a 96.7. Oh, he's amazing. Oh my God. 93.4 run block, 75.4 pass block. Week 3. 59.8.
Oh, what happened?
A 57.5 run block, a 66.7 pass block. He's not doing good,
man.
It was a day.
Let's calm down.
It was a day.
Calm down.
Also, people keep saying center. He's not their center. He's playing left guard for
He's playing guard. I think he's playing guard. Yeah.
He's playing either left or right. I gotta see. He is playing left guard for them. Well,
he's also playing.
Never mind. I take it back. Apparently, the last game he played 59 snaps at center,
and he's playing around a better line. By the way, if you want to call that good performance, anything.
Was that so? Was last week? Either way, it was one game. It was one game. Everybody breathe. I'm not losing my mind on the Lucas Patrick. You know what I mean? Oh,
bring him back.
Should have
kept him. He was bad here.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, hey guys, breathe. Everybody, kumbaya. Hey man, we appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're gonna get up out of here. For Mr. Meaty himself, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. We'll be back live today at 5. So make sure that you tap in and stay tuned in with us, man. Of course, we'll have content dropping on the channel throughout the day. So y'all stay in tune with us. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.
Bro, have you seen Anthony Miller on the team lately?
Somebody said he plays for the Ravens.
I have not seen that man take one snap. I thought he was on YouTube.
Must have signed that man to be the water boy. Remember the time Bobby Boucher came back? That movie would not fly if it was made today. Just thought about that. There was a whole movie about a special needs dude. Just playing football.
Mama said.